Okay then, so with these videos, I think there'll be a few for this one because there'll be a lot to get through. This will be videos going through what we did in the DVD Studio Pro class. So we'll try and go through at the same pace and go through the same elements in the same order. If we can open DVD Studio Pro at the start, then that will be in the dock at the bottom, or if not, you'll find it in your applications folder. I've opened this already just so I can get the screen to fit. If you can make sure this is at configurations advanced, you'll find the configurations here. Mine aren't highlighted for some reason, but this is the advanced one so that we know we've got all the elements that we need to use. Okay, so before we start then properly, let's work through correctly. So we need to save as before we begin. I should have a folder for DVD Studio. Okay, so this will where everything will save. When you put the save as, that's what the disk will be called, and that's what will appear if you put a disk into a laptop, so make sure that fits what you're doing. So I'll just call this DVD tutorial. And you see that changes up here. Okay, before we start adding assets being all the video clips or menus that we're going to use, we just check the preferences. Now that the logins have changed at university, you need to check that everything's set up before you start properly. So DVD Studio Pro preferences. You go to the project tab, the first tab. We're on DVD standard DVD because we're using HD at the moment, unless you are. Video standard should be PAL. In general, we should have our SD menu to 16:9 letterbox because we're all working with 16:9 now. And finally, in the encoding, if you go to MPEG to SD, again aspect ratio 69. The mode is a 2-pass VBR, which is variable bit rate. 2-pass means it's going to author the disk twice before it gives you it, so it's the best quality you can get. Bitrate and maximum bitrate, this is just from tried and tested for myself, going through it. So 7.9 for maximum bitrate will mean your minimum will hit 6.7 and it won't go any further. If you try something different, just let me know what your results are. And motion estimation best, so that we get the best quality. Obviously, if you okay that's that sorted. Right, we'll bring in our assets then. I'm using, so assets import, I'm using the DVD Studio Pro clips I used in class. You'll obviously have your own things. So if you click the folder and import, you'll find all the clips here. Imports, everything should be QuickTime movies. MPEG-4s is an issue with. AVIs seem fine. You should just export a QuickTime movie. That will squash it to FOBA 3, but in DVD Studio Pro we can then tell it that this is a 16:9 clip, if it is. The other thing, when you bring in QuickTime movies, it splits the files in DVD Studio Pro into its video and audio track. So just be aware of that there. So I have lots of adverts here which I'll pretend to be the film. I also have an extra audio track which we'll use for the commentary. And we have a song as well to put on menus. Okay, so let's set up our DVD. We're going to have 3 menus. One for the main menu, one for extras, and one for chapters. And we're going to have 4 tracks, which will be 3 extras and the main film. Here you can see it also always defaults to 1 menu and 1 track. So to add extra pieces, go to Project, Add to Project. So I need 2 more menus. And I need 3 more tracks. 1, 2, 3. Again, like we did our save at the beginning, let's name our menus and tracks as well. Everything's going to be much more easy in the end if everything is set out so you know exactly where things go. Okay, one point, every time I click a menu over here or a track, the bottom right window becomes that element, that attribute. So you can change the elements of everything within the bottom right. Okay, so click on menu 1 over here, I can name that main. So you can name these things over there, or you can name it in the left where the actual say. So first menu is main, second one extras, third one chapters, tracks, main film, and then just extra 1, 2, and 3. Okay, as we've done them, you can see now in my tracks down in the timeline here, I've got my main film extra 1, 2, 3, so it makes sense. And in my menus now, it's main, extras, chapters. So we want to add our templates. We're just going to be using menu templates this time round. So again, make sure you're in the right menu before you add. The main menu, I'm going to use one of the covers. you can see they've got city covers, film strip covers, etc. So make sure you get the right one. The covers have embedded buttons, so you can use them for your menus. So drag away to the screen and apply to menu, and you'll see that changes. So I want the cover menu for the main and extras, and for the chapters menu you've got a lot of templates here with 6 images for 6 chapters. So drag and drop, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons for 6 chapters. Okay. While we're adding things then, let's add our tracks as well. For my main film I'm just going to add 4 adverts. That will be the pretense of a film. It will also allow me to add chapters, so I can show that as well. Okay, extras will just be 3 separate adverts, commercials for the extras. Okay, now we can start the connectivity. Connectivity is just whenever someone presses a button, you need to tell the DVD what happens when that button is pressed. When the track finishes, I click a track over here and we have an end jump. So again, we need to tell the DVD when the track finishes what happens next. So let's do our main menu. This one has a default of 8 buttons. We need 4 buttons, 1 to play the film, 1 to play the film with commentary, 1 to play the extras menu, and 1 to play the chapters menu. So if you just backspace to delete buttons you don't need, or use Command X for cut, I'll take this down to 4 buttons, and if you name them like say so, play film with commentary, extras menu, and chapters menu. And now we can start setting things up. So connectivity, we'll do the play film first, and then you can do all the buttons yourselves. We hit on play film. The target needs to be track 1, which is our main film. So we change the not set to tracks and stories, main film as I've named it, and track. We may as well set the play film with commentary to the same at the moment, and we'll change that in a minute. Extras menu, the target will be the menu, obviously, extras, and the chapters menu. Before we check if those are working, play film at track 1. Let's just change track 1. So if you go to the main film, at the end jump here, so when the track finishes, we want that to go back to, it's up to you where it goes, but I want it to go back to the main menu and just to the menu button again. Okay. As you're going through these things, to make sure all your connectivity is working, you can go to Simulate at the top. If you click on Play Film, there's the film.